So today we're going to cover some home remedies for gnats, since we've gotten a lot of extension calls about how bad they are this season. Since this is Tom's area of expertise, I'm just here to do a little Vanna White and demo for you guys as he tells you what those remedies are.
Okay folks, gnats are really bad this year for whatever reason. Maybe it's because we didn't have much of a winter, it never got very cold, we've had a lot of rain throughout the winter, throughout the spring. But anyway, gnats are really bad this year. I've got calls from here in Starkville, I've got calls from down on the coast, I've got calls from over in the Delta. Everybody's got the same problem. Gnats are really bad this year. There are a lot of home remedies folks do use, and a lot of these things, for whatever reason, seem to work. Maybe the most common one, and the more I hear about the most, is using vanilla extract, or maybe imitation vanilla, because again, vanilla extract is pretty expensive. But as long as you've got something that's got a little bit of a vanilla smell to it, and you don't need a whole lot, you don't need to pour the whole bottle in there, as long as you've got a few drops of vanilla in there. And my lovely colleague will demonstrate just exactly how we put this together. It doesn't take a lot, it just takes a little, just so that there's a little bit of a vanilla smell there, because gnats don't like that vanilla smell. And then you just mix it with water and spritz your chickens. Spritz it on their combs, spritz it on their wattles, so they've got a little bit of that smell on there, and that's all it takes. Something else a lot of folks tend to use is citronella. For whatever reason, they don't seem to like the citronella smell. Menthol smell they don't seem to like. So folks use Vicks Vapor Rub. They smear a little bit of Vicks on the comb and the wattles, and that seems to help keep the gnats away. Something that I don't hear as much of, but I do hear some, is Listerine. They apparently do not like the smell of Listerine, and it's basically the same thing. You take a little bit of Listerine, put it in your spray bottle, fill it up with water. As long as you've got a smell there that you can notice that there is some of it in there, the gnats don't seem to like that very well. If you want to go the insecticide route, there are insecticides that do seem to work fairly well too. Elector is always a good choice. Again, Elector is a little bit expensive, but it does a good job. Permectin works, Rayvat works. So there are things out there. Anything with DEET, D-E-E-T, anything with DEET in it seems to work pretty well. So regardless of whether
I didn't bring any DEET, I'm allergic. So
that's perfect. Yes, be aware of that. Some of these things, if you're allergic to them, you have to account for some of that stuff. But that is some of the home remedies that a lot of folks have tried and that do seem to give responses. Also, if you've got your birds where you can put them in a house, where you can put them in a coop, if you can put a fan on them, as long as you can move some air across your chickens. Gnats like still air. They do not like to have air flowing across them, so they tend to get away from wherever the airflow is. If you can keep an airflow going across your chickens, that's going to do a fairly good job of keeping the gnats away from your birds. So those are some things from the home remedy side, from the insecticide side, that tends to work when it comes to gnats. Now, information doesn't have to just flow from us to y'all. If you've got something that you've tried that works, that we haven't mentioned, let us know what that is. That way we can pass it on. Most of what I know, I learned from somebody else at one time or another. Somebody told me all of these things that work. I didn't personally go out and try all these things. So if you've got something that works, if you've got your own home remedy that you know about that works really well on gnats, let us know. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Jessica, because we've got a fairly big event coming up soon that she's going to talk a little bit about, so that you folks will know, again, part of what's going on here on campus.
Yep. So following up with what Tom said, school taught me a lot, but I will say I've learned a lot of these type remedies from working in extension and out on the farm with people that have chickens. Tom mentioned we do have a big event coming up, and usually we celebrate this hugely with our senior social. We have 16 graduating students tomorrow. That is a big deal, and because of COVID-19, we can't celebrate them like we usually do, but we do want to mention how proud we are and excited for them. We know that they're going to do amazing things in the future, and we can't wait to watch them grow. Hail State!
Thank you.